If you're stopping by watching this video, we are talking about this DIHOOL outdoor power distribution box, which does come conveniently enough with a L530 as well as a normal 20 L520 and a 40 amp breaker right here. Outdoor rated. Let's jump into the video and see what this little distribution box is capable of. As you saw it already in the intro, we'll talk about this one. And if you are still watching, you're interested in this box, you want to look inside, you want to know how to connect it, maybe not, I will do it anyways in this video. And by the way, this one has a little sister or bigger brother, whatever you want to call it, or just a sibling, which is conveniently enough right here. Looks similar, has a different block, and this one comes with the TT30. We'll start with this one. Just in general, we do have a 40 amp breaker here from DIHOOL. It's rated 40 amp. It's built in, it's watertight. And I think the entire housing, they do call it out that it's IP44 rated. So it's IP44 rated. You can see also here in those plugs IP44. So here's a explanation what IP44 means, because it's not IP65 as you may want to have. Maybe you're looking for, if you're not looking for IP44, you look for a high rating, this is the wrong one. Anyways, I'll be talking about this unit. So here we can see we do have a regular plug up here up to 20 amps, this one up to 30 amps, but we only have a 40 amp breaker, and probably those restrictions will reside inside. We have a LED up here which illuminates once connected and turned on. We do have a connector down here. We have some information here, and yes, it's 120, 110, 120 volts. They say rated voltage 125 and the rated current 40 amps. Leakage, trippage, type A, and number of sockets 2. These are the size. I think that's good to understand. And we'll be connecting this little friend with the Multiplus 2, because I feel like this is a very easy box which you can just connect, especially when you only have 120 volts outlet on your off-grid setup, inverter, whatever. But this might be perfectly fine for whatever you want to do, and especially when you're just looking for 30 amps for your RV connection. Hey, this might be it. I think I did one video up there about the Sun Gold Power inverter. I installed it and I did use randomly DIHOOL products with a breaker. Whoop, one of these breakers basically, which I will have another video coming out pretty soon. It's a DC disconnect and it works well. So I felt like this one might be the next. So let's open it up, let's take a look and let's connect it. What's in the box? This manual, and it's important. Those 4 packages: mounting hardware, spare plastic bolts, screws, and those ferrules as well. It's super easy to open. You just need to open those 4 screws. I want to disclose and highlight, I'm not an electrician. I do not know what I'm doing. This is for entertainment purpose pure. So if you have any question, if you see something I'm doing wrong, you're more than welcome to leave some comments below so I do it better next time. I try to educate myself and inform myself before I do stuff like that. So keep that also in mind. So let's open this one up, and it has some kind of seal up here. Whoop, here's a seal. So I opened it already earlier, so it was easier now. Earlier was a little sticky, so I had to pry it a little bit open. So what are we able to see? We are able to see a couple things. We do see power coming in down here, and by the way, we have a red. You see there's different labeling down here, and by the way, as mentioned, I'm not an electrician, but I thought red and black are hot wires in America. I contacted the manufacturer, they gave me a different answer. Anyways, there's also, and that's why I said it's important to have your manual somewhere, because exactly here, that's where it states how you have to connect it. And that is super important, because you want to have it connected correctly. And there's also a wire diagram in general as well. So pretty good. I'll be using, because I have Romax 10 laying around, I'll be using that. They recommend 9 gauge, so this is 10 gauge. I might not be able to pull the full 40 amps, just want to highlight that. Those are the colors I'm used to. So black, hot wire, ground, neutral. So when it comes to this, we see red for hot, we see green, yellow for ground, which is okay, and we see black for neutral here as well. Also double check the connection up here. So talking about connections, you can see that we have one wire, which is, by the way, something I cannot read and identify because it's Chinese. So I have no idea what size we're dealing with here. But it looks really good, it's flexible and everything. So this one goes into the breaker, and the breaker goes over and daisy chains it to both connectors. So whatever this wire is, and it looks thicker than this wire, which interconnects them somehow, and it's also different labeling on it, it should be able to carry 40 amps. Whatever size it is, it should be able to carry 40 amps. Very important. Well, I'll try to figure that out. With stranded wire, that's what I see, definitely, but I have no idea. Feel free to tighten all those bolts just to be extra safe. I'll be doing that now as well. But funny enough, quality control is not the biggest thing here. This bolt back there is already stripped. So I can only use a flat head screwdriver for that. If you don't have one of these wire strippers are amazing. I can highly recommend them. So by the way, I didn't talk about, but this one is just holding in with clips. And here you can see how you have to connect it. Very important, right? And you can just pop them out here as well, so it makes it easier for installing. That's what it can look like. Pop the plastic cover on, and you want to hand tighten this one. Well, that's the first one. For the second one, which is quite interesting, this one does come with one of those plugs. So it means they will send you the other side of this plug. It's also still IP44 rated according here to this cover. Just saying, pointing that out. By the way, I did mention this handle. Didn't show the rear, but that's what it looks like. Same with this one. Has a handle. That's the rear. And at the end, you just have to connect it to your Multiplus. In my case, that's the other side. I had to look it up how to connect it. Even for this box, there is an additional manual included, more information about it. And then we also see up here, basically the connector, and we can see how you should connect it over here, which direction it should go, depending on your use case and what you need it for, and especially depending on what plug you need. This one is the TT30, remember that, and this one is the L530. I have the Multiplus here laying on two 48 volt batteries, and that being said, here you can see it on the left side, AC1. You can see how to connect it. This is the charger, AC in is the charger, and AC out, that's my Romex that I've connected. I'm using those Wago clamps. They are rated up to 10 gauge, up to 41 amp, so they are sufficient for easy, quick connection, because it's for me temporarily, because it's easier to connect than putting it always into those green plugs from Victron, because they are definitely more sturdy and more difficult to get in with Romex. So I'll be doing this one. For test purpose, I will be turning on now the inverter first. Then second, I will be turning on this unit. We can see it is red. It's here, this indicator lamp, as you can see. Indicator constantly on indicates that the circuit is normal and the socket is powered on. And I mentioned I will not be pulling full capacity here anyways. Here we are pulling some capacity off the battery, and I do have the Victron app, so that means I should be able to see how much we're actually pulling. And currently you can see the battery 100% is not correct, it's at 70 or something, even less. We're pulling 14.3 amp out, which is around 700 watts. So we're far below the 20, and now with this heat gun I can go up to, way more. Well, with inverter power and everything else, we're actually pulling 30 out here, which is pretty accurate. Nice. Alrighty. So that's the use of this distribution box. And if you don't want to use it anymore, you just flip the breaker and there we go. What you need to be very mindful when you connect this, and you can see depending on how you mount it, you always have this orientation. So when you use both plugs at the same time, remember you only have a 40 amp breaker, but 20 plus 30 would be 50. So just saying. But when you have both connected here, rain, when it comes down, might trip in one of the sides, just saying. This one has a funny latch over here, so you can close it and then do this with it. You can actually take this protective screen off at one point as well, and voila. And of course, for this one, it would be pretty much the same. So my use case for one of these, or maybe even both, is actually having this installed in in my electric shed. More to talk about pretty soon. and my new workshop, what's coming up. So I want to use an off-grid setup as much as possible, maybe with those two batteries starting, with this inverter starting, and then having one of those two connected, depending on my final setup. But you know, you want to build it over time. So let me know any questions below. Is this the highest quality build? Probably not the highest quality build, but it is at least something you can get started with. I would not install this outside where it's not protected from the environments. Just that fact alone, it just doesn't make sense to me. And IP44 is, yeah, it's, at least for workshop, I believe, a very good setup, and it's easy to connect to your inverter, whatever inverter you have, 120 volts, that's great. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. Let me know in the comment section below if that makes sense to you, one of these, or if it's just a waste of money and you rather build it yourself. And ignore the mess over there. As mentioned, I'm in process of putting stuff together and moving into a nice new workshop. Thanks for watching, and subscribe if you want to be part of that journey. Cheers!